Popularly known as Abba, the younger Abubakar Atiku was formally received at the National Assembly by the Deputy President of the Senate, Barau Jibrin, alongside top APC leaders from the Northeast geopolitical zone. Speaking at the event, Abba Abubakar announced his resignation from the political organization he established to support his father's 2023 presidential ambition.
So today I'm formally here to announce my exit from my former party, where we worked in 2023, and to the APC. I will work with His Excellency Senator Barau to actualize the second term bid of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Something happened a few days ago that should unsettle every serious political party in Nigeria. It wasn't a speech. It wasn't a rally. It wasn't an opposition attack. It came from inside Atiku's own house. His own son, broad, name, legacy publicly, aligned with APC and openly supported Bola Tinubu against his own father. No denial, no clarification, no family matter, no damage control, just silence. And in politics, silence is never neutral. Silence is a statement. That silence is louder than any campaign speech Atiku can deliver between now and 2027. Politics is not first about structure. It is about belief, not seniority. Conviction, not history. Trust. It is about who people choose to follow when no one is forcing them, paying them, or negotiating with them. That is why ADC ticket debates cannot be reduced to money, age, or political resume. Two recent developments have changed the equation completely, and ADC ignores them at their own peril. One happened inside Atiku's family. The other happened inside ADC itself. Together, they answer a brutal question Nigerian politics hates to confront. Who truly carries belief and who only carries ambition? Let's be clear. This is not about disrespect. This is not about family drama. This is not about gossip. This is politics, cold, factual, and unforgiving. A few days ago, Atiku Abubakar's son did what many Nigerians did not expect. He stood on the opposite side of his father's presidential ambition and supported APC and Tinubu, not quietly, not privately, not behind the scenes, openly. And let's correct the record. This did not happen in 2023. It happened now, at a time when Atiku is still positioning himself, still negotiating relevance, still searching for another pathway to power. That timing matters because when a son walks away from his father's political projects at this stage, it sends a dangerous signal. One, ADC cannot afford to ignore. It suggests that belief is missing where royalty should be strongest. In politics, families protect ambition at all costs. They close ranks even when cracks are obvious. They lie together when the truth is inconvenient. They project unity even when none exists. So, when the unity breaks publicly, analysts don't ask why. They ask a far more unsettling question. What does he know that the public doesn't? Because if the person closest to the project refuses to believe in it, the project itself is exposed. Support forced by obligation collapses under pressure. Support born from belief multiplies without instruction. That is why this incident refuses to disappear. If Atiku's own son, who loses nothing by supporting his father, chooses another camp, it exposes a deeper and uncomfortable reality. The Atiku project struggles to inspire those closest to it, and Nigerians understand this instinctively. Because if belief cannot survive proximity, how will it survive a brutal national election? Now place that silence side by side with what happened inside ADC. Atiku aligned, ADC remained still. No senators defected en masse. No House of Representative bloc followed. No prominent political current shifted. No urgency. no excitement, no regrets. ADC did not wake up. That silence was not respect. It was not strategy. It was indifference. And indifference is the most dangerous verdict in politics. It tells you something uncomfortable but true. Atiku's presence did not generate momentum. Experience alone no longer moves Nigerian politics. Money alone no longer excites the electorate. Then came the contrasts. Sharp, immediate, undeniable. The moment P2B entered ADC, the atmosphere changed. Suddenly, senators followed. Members of House of Representatives aligned. Recognized political actors crossed over. Youth energy surged. Media attention intensified. ADC went from quiet to combustible. No ground announcement engineered that. No negotiation forced that outcome. No financial inducement explains it. That is what organic gravity looks like. This is the difference ADC must confront honestly. Atiku brings capacity. Obi brings movement. Atiku negotiates entry. Obi activates followers. Atiku's politics flows from top downward. Obi's politics rises from the ground upward. And modern elections are no longer won at the top. They are won where belief lives. There is a dangerous assumption circulating quietly in the elite spaces that P2B's popularity can be used even if he is not chosen. That is not strategy. That is arrogance. P2B's support base is not party royal. It is credibility royal. It does not transfer. It does not migrate. It does not obey instructions. You cannot remove the man and keep the movement. You cannot sideline belief and expect trust to remain. That experiment has failed before. It will fail again. This debate is not about age. It is not about turn-by-turn entitlement. It is not about who has tried before. ADC is choosing between a candidate whose own son publicly defected and a candidate whose presence revived the entire party overnight. Between money without movement and movement without coercion. Between winning a ticket and winning a country. When a man's son walks away, the nation notices. When a man walks into a party and the party wakes up, the nation follows. ADC can ignore these signs. History will not. Because 2027 will not be won by who can buy a ticket, but by who Nigerians already believe in.